Can't believe it's Friday already, but it is, and it is going to be the Labor Day weekend, so I'll get to relax. So will you. I hope you do. Get it all out of you, then you're going to be back to school. You're going to be back doing the things, well, working again. It's always weird after that long of a holiday weekend, you have to come back to work. I know, it's just, I don't know. It's difficult. Everybody around the studio today is kind of going, I want to go home now. It's tiring. Oh, yeah. Well, it is, because it's like we put in a hard day and then we do a show, and then this is like the home stretch for all of us, because we busily, prepare a program, and we study, we write, we produce, and it's just a long day. And then we get in here, and this is our home stretch. But we do it because we really enjoy being a part of you and having you with us. And we try to hopefully give you a show that you'll enjoy and find interesting. I was having a conversation last night with my new producer, Alex Cluten. He was telling me that he recently realized that he had some credit left over from an Amazon account and was so excited about having enough credit to get a new smartwatch. He said, I'm going to get it for virtually no money. He's wearing his smartwatch now, and he's like bragging. He's got a smartwatch on his hand, on his wrist, actually. Yeah, there it is. He's holding it up. The latest smartwatches. I hear that they're pretty powerful. He did this trick with it. He held it up to his face and it clicked on. It weirded me out. Like, how does it know that if he holds it up to look at what time it is, it just clicks on automatically? It must have an eye in it or something. It must be spying on you, or I don't know what it is. Anyway, so smartwatches are very powerful, and they're catching on too. It basically talks to your mobile device, your Android or your whatever phone you have. And then it displays your texts, your emails, your Facebook, your Twitter posts, and more without your having to take the phone out of your pocket. Is that right, Alex? It's true, isn't it? Yeah. It's something more advanced than the two-way wrist radio that Dick Tracy wore in the old comic strip. That's before your time, Alex, because you're a little kid. No, you're not a little kid, but still, you're young. So, yeah, Dick Tracy, the two-way wristwatch. That's what it kind of looks like, but it's more advanced than that. Now, I can just imagine how excited Alex was, because he is into all kinds of electronic stuff and all kinds of electronic gadgets. I mean, his room looks like a panopticon. He's got wall-to-wall computer monitors. He's got computers. He's got an Oculus Rift. You know what an Oculus Rift is? For those of you that don't know what an Oculus Rift is, he's got this Oculus Rift where it's kind of a rudimentary virtual reality thing. And what you do is you put it on your eyes. You wear this special apparatus over your eyes, and it's like you're in this whole new world. It's fun. It's amazing. It makes you dizzy. I took the Oculus Rift. He was at a Comic-Con, a comic convention. We were wearing the Oculus Rift, and I was up on this balcony, and I felt like I was going to fall over because I was so dizzy from it. But it was amazing. It was also like tours through haunted houses in the Oculus Rift, all kinds of stuff like that. We were going to do Sad Satan with the Oculus Rift, but then we thought, no. It didn't work? He said it didn't work. Well, we were going to do it. We thought we'd give it a shot and see if it felt anything. But no, it didn't work. So the apparatus over your eyes, Oculus Rift. He's also got an unrivaled collection of old video game consoles, from the Atari 2600 to the oldest version of the Xbox. He's got this museum. He had to turn it into a museum. It's kind of this little area at his grandmother's house where you go there, and he's got this huge back area, and it's just so amazing. If you're a video game buff, you'd stay in there all day long. Old joysticks, old controllers, and 2600. Those little, what were they? Little carts. We call them carts. No, cartridges. And you put them in rather than just turning on the Xbox and putting a CD in there or a DVD. Anyway, so a lot of gadgets like that, tons of them, and that's cool because I just find it fascinating. I don't have a lot of gadgets in my life, but just to see all of the cool technologies and how, they grew and how we grew with them, and how he has the smartwatch and he has the phone. But there's sometimes, and I remember I felt this way when remember texting, how it began, and everybody was texting, and I thought, why don't you just call people? Why do you have to text people? Why don't you just call people on the phone? It didn't make sense to me. Well, gadgets like these, like the smartwatch. Yeah, you just told me that the smartwatch also measures your heart rate. It's insane, okay? And so when I feel like the, contraptions like that, they can read your heart rate, probably can tap into your brain cells. I don't know. I find myself feeling old and irrelevant. And the reason why is because, well, is it really that much of a hassle, Alex, to pull the damn cell phone or smartphone out of your pocket to check messages and email? Does it make any sense? I mean, you got the phone in your pocket, you got the wrist, and the wristwatch basically tells you what your phone's going to tell you. So grab the phone and look at the phone. I don't get it. He says it's easier if you're driving. You should be looking at your watch if you're driving too. I don't get it. Gosh, I'm old. I don't get it. You guys have the smart watches and the big old phones that you hold against your ear. I don't get it. I will eventually, though. You know me. I was a little slow in texting, and now I text, and I still have my old sturdy Star Trek flip phone. Everybody looks at me. You're such a Luddite. I'm not. I just don't want a computer to put it up to my head and have my brain fry. I'm not into that. So anyway, these new smart watches, if you get one, I'll think it's cool for a minute, and then I'll realize, you can just take your phone out and read your phone. You don't get a watch to read your damn messages. I don't get it. And then I get a email from a listener that was, I guess, a few days ago, and this listener that said that the new smartphones are part of a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy, right? Okay, and I thought, okay, whatever. So I'm looking at this letter. No explanation as to why it was a conspiracy. Just, Clyde, it's a conspiracy. The smartphones are conspiracy. I go, okay, fine. So I write back and I say, how is it that these smartphones are part of some conspiracy? And I waited for the reply, and the reply was something I did not expect. The person that wrote back told me that she was a victim of electronic harassment. She believed that someone was targeting her and using microwave technology to beam voices into her head. And she expressed to me the idea that smartwatches are a gateway device to creating artificial telepathy. I never heard of the term artificial telepathy. I've heard of synthetic telepathy, but never artificial telepathy. So she explained later in the email that the watch is used to be an electronic assistant to the phone. And what happens is it becomes a convenience to use a watch instead of looking at the phone. That's what I was thinking. Why just not look at your phone? Well, the way she explained it was that the exercise of looking at the watch instead of the phone acclimates the consumer to the habit of think, tap, and receive. Think, tap, and receive. It's an exercise that eventually will become a mental imperative, similar to brushing one's teeth or automatically using a car signal to make a turn. Think, tap, receive. Think, tap, receive. No longer will you have to physically answer your phone or your watch. You will think, tap, and that tapping will happen at a part of your skull. You'll be tapping your skull. You'll think of something, tap your skull 3 or 4 times, and then hear a voice through technology which has already been developed by the military. Mind reading as a model for mobile phone communication is an old story. In the 1967 science fiction political satire movie, The President's Analyst, starring James Coburn, one of the subplots involved a plan by the company TPC to develop the Cerebrum Communicator, a microelectronic device that can communicate wirelessly with any other cerebrum communicator in the world. Once implanted in the brain, the user needs to just think of the number of the person they wish to reach and are instantly connected, thus eliminating the need for the phone company's massive and expensive wired infrastructure. Isn't that interesting? This type of technology could also be used to send telepathic commercials or thoughts where brands or brand names would flash into your head by the power of suggestion. For example, McDonald's could send you a message about a value meal or a value deal on a Big Mac around noon, lunchtime, or Starbucks